Slightly terrified about this TBR, but also ridiculously excited. Hi everyone, my name's Chloe, welcome back to my channel. Thank you for being here today. Today's video is going to be my TBR game, TBR match for the month of June. Now, in case you can't tell by the headpiece that I'm wearing at the minute, I am participating in Marvelathon in June. I'm actually one of the team captains. I'm the captain for Team Scarlet Witch. I'm going to link all the information you need about that readathon down below. So I'm going to link Lisa's video, the team captains, and all of the announcement videos and things like that. Now, obviously, because there are prompts in that readathon and there are points to be gained, I do have an idea of some books that I would like to read during the month of June, but I haven't played TBR M.A.S.H yet, so I don't know how many of those are on my sort of set TBR for the month. So that's what we're going to do today. First things first, I don't have to add any extra prompts or anything at the beginning of this game. I will have managed to complete my TBR. I'm filming this on the 24th of the month and I've got 1.5 books left to read, and I will definitely do that by next week. So no punishments, which is a great start for the month. So we're going to jump right in and play, but first let me just explain some rules if you've not seen one of these videos before. So this is TBR M.A.S.H. It is my TBR game, which is inspired by the childhood game of M.A.S.H, which usually you would use to predict your life, and I use it to dictate my reading life instead. So each of these cards has a prompt on them. I use a random number generator to work my way around, eliminating a prompt each time until there is only one left in each section. Those are the prompts I use for my TBR. I also have some extra prompts down here. These ones are actually leftovers from a round of TBR M.A.S.H that I did back in March, which was where other people picked my TBR for me. So there are specific books on these ones, whereas the rest of them are all just general prompts. These ones come into play if we end up with 2 of the same colour in any of the prompts, or if I end up having to add a +1, because those are also in the game as well. But yeah, these ones are specific books I have to read during the month rather than prompts that I can then pick from. We then finish off with M.A.S.H, which stands for Mansion, which in my game is a big book, over 500 pages. Apartment is a short book, which would be under 200 if I can get it, 300 if not. Shack, which is a book you've been putting off, and House is comfortable, so it's a mood read. I think that is pretty much all you need to know. There's always something I forget in this, so I'll probably have to jump back in a minute with another clip explaining something, but I think that's everything. What I'm going to do is I'm going to grab a random number generator and we're going to figure out what number we're going to use, and we're going to start picking prompts. So as always, we set our parameters between 5 and 15, and this time we have got a 7. So let's see what TBR M.A.S.H has in store for me. Okay, you guys don't need to see me count, so let's speed this up. Okay, so we have our first prompt. Let's see what it is. Mixed reviews. So pretty self-explanatory. I need to pick a book that I've heard good things about, I've heard bad things about, and I will be adding my opinion to that. I'm not sure. I've got a list of things that I want to get on my TBR because they're good for this readathon. I'm not sure which one I'm going to pick. I'm going to go and have a look at some Goodreads reviews, I guess. I'll be back momentarily. Okay, I'm starting off with a very questionable decision to put on my TBR when there's a readathon happening and I'm trying to read as many books as possible. But I've been really wanting to read this. I really loved this author's first book. It's one of my favourite books of all time now. And this is a 5-star prediction, so it works for one of the prompts for a readathon. I am also participating in Whatever-a-thon, which I haven't mentioned, but basically with that I'm just going to kind of fit things to prompts after I've read them. But it's got very mixed reviews, so we're going to see how it goes. I'm going to be reading The Starless Sea by Erin Morgenstern. This is exactly what you want to put on for the first book in a TBR, isn't it? The good thing is that one of the prompts is also an intimidating read, and this is intimidating because I'm worried about whether or not I'm going to enjoy it because I loved The Night Circus so much. But no, I'm excited. I am excited to read it. I've been wanting to read it for a while. And yeah, this will prompt me to read it, so that's a good thing. I don't think I can... Oh, I can actually count it for red on the cover because that is red down at the bottom there. So, you know, I can get some bonus points in there. And yeah, we'll see how it goes. First prompt. Hopefully it gets easier as it goes along. Okay, let's pick our second, hopefully easier prompt. Okay, we've got our second prompt, and this one is going to be something that doesn't want to come off the board. There's always one. Okay, so this says duology. So this just means it has to be a book in a duology, which is really annoying because I'm finishing a duology as my next read for the last one on my May TBR. Do I have any duologies I want to start? I have to keep looking back at my recommendations video and seeing what I actually wanted to read and going from there. But again, I'll be back momentarily. Okay, so I need to try and read as many witchy books as possible because Scarlet Witch, one of our prompts is to read books with witches in them. And I've had a check on Goodreads and this is described as the thrilling conclusion to the Ravens duology. So I'm going to read The Monarchs by Cass Morgan and Danielle Page. I read The Ravens when I first got it, so like a year and a bit ago now, when it came in an Illumicrate box, I think it was, and I enjoyed it. It's not like an all-time favourite, but I enjoyed it enough to pick up the sequel, but I just haven't read it yet. So I'm going to be reading this one. And this one counts for red on the cover, so there is some extra points there. It is a witchy book, and I'm sure I can make it fit into some other prompts as well. So yeah, I'm going to be reading The Monarchs this month. This is easier because this one I will be able to speed through very quickly. Okay, let's pick our next prompt. That one literally just flew off the board at me, but I've still got it down here, so. And it is not one that I necessarily wanted to come up. It is a middle grade. I don't read a lot of middle grades. I say this every single time. Just trying to think, no, that's next month. Carrie Hope Fletcher's got a new middle grade coming out, and I'm like, is it coming out this month? Because I will be pre-ordering it, but I think it comes out at the beginning of July. So there's only really one middle grade that I'm particularly interested in reading, like in the near future. So I'm gonna go and grab that because it will actually work for some prompts, which is good. So I'm going to be reading the second book in the Nevermore series, which is Wondersmith, The Calling of Morrigan Crow. I read Nevermore earlier on this year and I actually gave it 5 stars, which is very, very rare for me with a middle grade. So this one counts as a 5-star prediction, which is a prompt for this readathon, which is great. And again, it is a red cover, which is very helpful. And I should be able to read through this one pretty quickly because I read through the first one very quickly, and middle grade always should generally be an easy read. So yeah, we'll put this one on there. It'll be a nice break. Maybe after I finish Duology, I'll pick this up as a nice like relaxing read. Right, let's pick our last regular prompt. So far we don't have to pick any of these extras in the middle. So far we're avoiding some of the books that I'm terrified of. Who's betting that I end up getting a colour that I've already got on this one? Okay, so we have our final prompt. And I don't actually have to pick anything extra because it's a different colour. So I have Reread, which is actually a really nice one because obviously I can reread something that I know definitely fits for some of these prompts. So, there's a couple of things that I'm wanting to reread and I can't decide which one to put on this list. I'll go and have a look and be back with you in a minute. So I think I'm going to go with History Is All You Left Me by Adam Silvera. I think I only reread this last year, but it's absolutely fine. It's one of my favourite books. And basically I got this special edition of it some point earlier on this year, and there is some bonus material in here that I've been wanting to read anyway. And it works for my other team prompts. I've already mentioned witchy books. This one works for the other team prompt, which is Heartbreak, because this all deals with grief and it is definitely a heartbreaking book. So I think I'm going to read this one because I know I can read this one in a day as well. This is basically the aim for this month, is anything I know I can read in a day, get it on the set TBR, and then everything else I can sort of plan around it. So that's not looking too bad at the minute. I do need to pick this one though, so let's see how this goes, shall we? We've got a short book. This has been really, really nice to me this month. I don't know why. But yeah, this is Apartment. I don't know why I was taking it off there. There's nothing on the back of it. This is Apartment, so that means a short book. It means a book under 200 pages, if I can get one that's under 200 pages. I should really pick it now, but I also kind of want to wait and pick it when I'm in the mood for it. I'm just looking to see if there's anything like short. I've just read a novella that I've been wanting to read. I'm thinking maybe reading the next in the Wayward Children series. I think the next one I have to read is In an Absent Dream. I will have to double check, but maybe read that because it's definitely a 5-star prediction, so it'll count for that. I mean, a lot of those tend to have quite heartbreaking moments in them as well, so maybe it can count for that. But yeah, I'm thinking that. I'm just going to double check which one I have to read next. I know it's a 4th one, I know that much. Yeah, In an Absent Dream is the 4th one, which from what I heard is a lot of people's favourite. So I'm actually quite excited to read that one. And because it's one of the ones that's actually set in the world, obviously inevitably at some point the character's going to have to come out of that world, so I think that's going to be a heartbreaking moment, so hopefully that'll work for that. So yeah, I'm going to be reading In an Absent Dream by Seanan McGuire for my apartment book. This is a really easy TBR and I am in a reading mood at the minute, so I should be able to fly through these. Like, the only sort of slightly intimidating thing really is this one at the bottom, but I'm really interested in reading it anyway. Something's going to go wrong now, isn't it? I've been talking all this talk about how Team Scarlet Witch is going to win, and then my TBRs come up really, really easy. Something's going to go wrong. Right, I'm just gonna, because this has been a really easy pick and it's been a really short video, I'm gonna give you an idea of some of the other things that are on my TBR, because like last month, that is my basic TBR that I have to read, but I also have lots of other things that I want to read. So I'm gonna go and grab those, talk you through those, and then I will wrap this one up. Okay, so I don't know if I managed to grab all of them, but I've just got a handful off of my shelves that I'm in the mood to read this month, and these are kind of not definite reads, but ones that I'm hoping to get to if I can. I do also have some that I don't have physically, so I'm going to talk about those first. I will have them in my hands, or at least some of them, by tomorrow. I have got a bunch of Scarlet Witch comics that are coming from the library, so I have a few of them to read on my Kindle. I know a lot of people don't like reading comics on like ebooks and things like that. I don't mind, so I'm gonna power through. I think I've got 5 of those that are on my Kindle at the minute that I've got out from the library, and then I have 2 physical ones coming as well. So lots of Scarlet Witch comics coming to fulfill those prompts. Witchy, red on the cover. Some of them will be heartbreaking, I'm sure. We're doing well with getting prompts covered there. I also then have this stack of books at the side of me that I would like to read. Some of them I don't know how much they fit these prompts, but I might just be interested in reading them anyway. So the first one being A Far Wilder Magic. So this talks about magic, so it could be witchy vibes, I don't know, but I'm just interested in it anyway. It keeps staring at me, so I might read this one soon. This one definitely counts for witches because it's called The Nature of Witches. I've had this one for a while now. I tried to order it with the really pretty naked hardback, and when I ordered it, it should have still been first printing, and then there was a delay in sending it, and I ended up getting what I'm guessing is a second printing because it's only got the 1 flower on it, whereas all the others are like flowery all over. But it's still pretty and I'm still excited to read it. So I've been saving it because I've been thinking about reading it for the last couple of months, but because I know about these prompts, I've been saving it for this because witches definitely fulfills prompts. I then would also like to read Book of Night by Holly Black. Now, Lisa has said we can stretch these prompts as much as we need to, and this one talks about magicians, and usually like a female version of a magician is a witch, so I'm hoping that this counts for that, but also it's just one that I really want to read, so it'll work for other things like 5-star prediction. And I have 2 copies of this, and I really need to see if I actually like it to know whether or not I'm keeping both copies, so this one will be getting read. And then I've got 2 from the library that actually could have potentially come up in this, but we didn't end up picking one from it. So the first one being Practical Magic by Alice Hoffman, and the next one being The Rules of Magic by Alice Hoffman. So Rules of Magic is one that Katie put on my potential TBR, and it just hasn't come up yet. Practical Magic is actually the first in the series, but it's set after Rules of Magic. This is the prequel. I like to read things in publication order, so I've taken them both out of the library, and I would like to read them both. So I'm gonna try and get through these if possible this month. This is about a family of witches, so it definitely works. They then got the M.A.S.H, which is another one I've taken out from the library, and it's inspired by witch trials, so again, I believe that this one will work. And then I've got one that I picked up yesterday actually, and it's called Payback's a Witch. This sounds fantastic. It's about 2 witches who kind of plot to take down their ex who has cheated on them both, and then end up falling in love. I'm very excited about this book. It's just it's an adult romance. It's going to be really easy to fly through, and it sounds fantastic, and it fits my prompts. It's great. It's good timing to have bought this one for £2 yesterday in the works. Editing Chloe popping in here. Editing Chloe who looks a lot different than the put together Chloe that was in this video. I have realised that I missed off the book that I am most excited to read next month, which is Circe by Madeline Miller. It's like on top of my shelf, so I just completely forgot that it was there to show it to you guys, and I still haven't grabbed it to film this clip, to be honest. But yeah, Circe by Madeline Miller is another one I will be reading because it is about a witch, and I read Song of Achilles last month and I loved it so much I gave it 5 stars, and basically would have picked up Circe immediately was it not for the readathon that I'm doing this month. So yeah, Circe by Madeline Miller is also on this TBR. Let's make it even chunkier. So I think that's everything. So we've got, once again, my set TBR plus a Wayward Children book, and then my potential TBR plus a Wayward Children book plus lots of comic books. I like to make it more difficult than it has to be. That is everything. Thank you guys for watching. Please like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff down below. Let me know if you were taking part in Marvelathon, what team have you picked, what is on your TBRs. Let me know in the comments down below, and I will see you guys next time with a new video. Bye.